Mina and the Dinosaur Fairies long, long ago, or maybe just last Tuesday, a brave little girl named Mina lived at the edge of Whispering Woods. She adored adventure, collecting shiny pebbles, and dinosaurs. Yes, actual dinosaurs. One breezy afternoon, Mina followed a trail of glowing footprints into the forest. Stomp. Stomp, twinkle, twinkle. The ground shook, but instead of a roaring T-Rex, she found something even stranger, a dinosaur with shimmering wings, no bigger than a pony. Around it fluttered a whole flock of tiny dinosaurs with fairy wings, giggling like wind chimes. They called themselves the Dino Fairies, half dinosaur, half magic. The problem: the leader, a gentle triceratops named Tila, told Mina their home, Rainbow Valley, was losing its colors. The magical Prism Stone that painted their world had been stolen by the mischievous shadow lizard. Without it, flowers were turning gray, rivers were dull, and even the rainbow's arch was sagging. Mina clenched her fists. We'll get it back. Together. The adventure Tila took Mina on her back, and the Dino Fairies formed a glittery cloud around them. They zoomed through the Candy-Floss Clouds, where pink pterodactyl fairies handed out marshmallow feathers for luck. They tiptoed past the Snorosaurus, a giant who sneezed glitter in his sleep. In the crystal caves, echoes repeated their voices in silly rhymes, making Mina laugh so hard she nearly dropped her backpack. The showdown at the edge of a shadowy canyon, they found the shadow lizard guarding the Prism Stone. Its eyes glowed, but it looked lonely. Why did you take it? Mina asked. I wanted the colors for myself, it admitted, because I have none. Mina thought for a moment, then smiled. But colors are better when you share. The Dino Fairies flitted forward, sprinkling rainbow dust over the shadow lizard. Its scales began to sparkle like opals, and its frown turned into a grin. Happily ever after, with the Prism Stone returned, Rainbow Valley bloomed brighter than ever. The sky danced with 7 rainbows at once, and the shadow lizard became their new friend. Tila gave Mina a small, glowing dino wing pendant. Whenever you wear this, you'll hear our wings, and know you can visit any time, she said. Back home, Mina often told her friends the story, though some didn't believe her. But if you ever walk near Whispering Woods on a breezy afternoon, you might hear the faint flap-stomp giggle of dinosaur fairies in the distance. In a small village lived a little girl named Era. She was cheerful, kind, and loved helping everyone. But what made her truly special was her love for birds. She often spent hours feeding them and listening to their songs in the garden. One evening, as the sun painted the sky orange, Era noticed a strange bird. It was entirely blue, its wings sparkling like tiny stars. Amazed, Era whispered, "Wow! What a beautiful bird! Does it really live in my village?" The bird fluttered down and said, "Hello, Era. My name is Blue." Era gasped. "You can talk?" Blue chuckled. "Yes. But only with those who have a pure heart and love for others." Excited, Era asked if she could be friends. Blue replied, "Of course. Would you like to join me on a magical journey? I'll show you places beyond your dreams." Era's eyes sparkled. "Yes. I'd love to." Blue flapped his glowing wings, and a wave of blue light surrounded Era. In a flash, she felt herself rising into the sky. Together, they soared above the clouds, the village fading behind them as the stars began to appear. They landed in a valley like no other. Golden trees sparkled, flowers glowed with light, and rainbow-colored fish danced in crystal waters. Era's eyes widened in wonder. "It's like a fairy tale come true." "This is the Valley of Dreams," explained Blue. "Only those with love and hope in their hearts can enter." Suddenly, a dark shadow appeared, a black crow with piercing eyes. It cawed angrily, "This valley belongs to me. Leave at once." Era trembled. But Blue said calmly, "Courage, Era. Remember, friendship and love are stronger than hate. Gathering her courage, Era spoke softly to the crow, "We don't want to fight. We only want to share joy. If you like, you can join us as a friend." The crow was stunned. No one had ever offered him friendship before. Slowly, his anger faded. And for the first time, he smiled. He joined them. And together they played happily under the glowing trees. At last, Blue brought Era back to her village. "Blue, this was the most wonderful day of my life," Era said with a smile. "I'll always remember that love and friendship are the greatest powers." Blue nodded. "Indeed, Era. Wherever love exists, magic follows." With that, he spread his wings and flew into the sky, leaving a trail of sparkling blue light. From that day on, Era shared her magical adventure with the village children. They listened in awe and promised themselves to spread love and kindness wherever they went. Long ago, on the edge of a small village, there stood a dark forest called the Whispering Woods. The villagers warned children never to wander too deep, for at night the trees were said to whisper secrets no one should hear. In that village lived a brave little girl named Lila. She was only 10 years old but loved adventures more than anything. One evening, when the moon was full and bright, Lila decided to step into the Whispering Woods. "It can't be so scary," she told herself. "Maybe the trees just sing when the wind blows." As she walked deeper, the air grew colder, and the trees seemed taller. She heard a faint whisper, soft as a sigh, "Go back. Go back." Lila stopped and looked around, but no one was there. She clutched her lantern tighter and whispered back, "I'm not afraid." Suddenly, the path twisted, and a crooked tree blocked her way. Its bark looked like a wrinkled face, and when the wind blew, its hollow trunk made a sound like a groan. Lila's heart raced, but she remembered her grandmother's words, "Fear is only a shadow. Light will always chase it away." So she raised her lantern high, and the golden glow pushed the shadows back. Then she saw something moving, two glowing eyes peeking from behind a bush. A shiver ran down her spine, but when the creature stepped out, she gasped. It wasn't a monster. It was a small, lost fox with silver fur. The fox looked at her as if asking for help. "Are you the one whispering?" Lila asked nervously. The fox shook its head and pointed with its nose deeper into the woods. The whispers grew louder now, circling all around her. "Stay forever, stay forever." Lila almost turned to run, but the fox tugged at her dress and led her forward. They reached a clearing where a giant old tree stood, its trunk hollow like a doorway. From inside, a cold mist flowed out, and the whispers were strongest there. With trembling hands, Lila held her lantern close. "I am not afraid of shadows," she said firmly. As the light touched the hollow, the mist swirled and vanished, and the whispers fell silent. From the tree floated a single silver feather, glowing softly. The fox picked it up and laid it at Lila's feet. In that moment, she understood, the Whispering Woods had been cursed, and only someone brave enough to face the whispers could free it. Lila took the feather, and the forest grew calm. The trees no longer groaned. Instead, they sighed peacefully like they were finally at rest. When Lila returned to the village with the silver fox trotting beside her, everyone stared in wonder. The forest was no longer feared but safe again. And though the villagers never heard the whispers again, Lila sometimes thought she could hear a soft voice on the wind, saying, "Thank you, brave child."